to be my pleasure. Spoon, spoon, spoon temperature. Spoon, spoon, spoon.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Moravia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon you and know. If the children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening, my brother, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what happening in the ministry, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You from Bonjama, Maryland, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. If you eat my congratulate my brother, to spoon. You got a spoon TV, you got a spoon radio, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You want to get a news update, to spoon. Yeah, Rastafari. Kilibamba, 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 kilibamba. What you want? Yes, what
TV.
yes, what you want?
Spoon, spoon TV. Spoon,
Ba-da-ba-di-da-di-ba.
spoon,
Di-di-di-di-da-ba-do.
spoon entertainment.
Kua, 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 kua. Kua, 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 kujile. Kua, kua, kujile.
On the food, yes, I love it. On the food, yes, I
Right in the South man, charges on the weekends.
on the food to get your information. On the food to be my pleasure. Spoon, spoon, spoon temperature. Spoon, spoon, spoon.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Moravia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon you and know. If the children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening, Moravia, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what happening in the ministry, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You from Bonjama, Maryland, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. If you eat my congratulate my brother, to spoon. You got a spoon TV, you got a spoon radio, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You want to get a news update, to spoon. Yeah, Rastafari. Kilibamba, 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 kilibamba. What you want? Yes, what you got?
TV.
Yes, what you got?
Spoon TV. Spoon
Bala 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 bala. Kidi di da baro.
Spoon Entertainment.
Kua kua. What's kua kudile. Kua kudile.
For the food.
Yes,
For the food.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Morovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon, you just spoon you well know. The trade preparing for starvation, just don't spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, don't spoon. You want to.
Okay, folks, I'd like to welcome you. Thanks for joining us
For the future, want to make
on another edition of the program. This is the Late Night Show, the Late Night Politics of Spoon. I'd like to welcome all of you to another great edition of the program. This is where we bring you the update. We bring you the analysis on critical national issues and afford you the opportunity to have your say on those different issues of national concern. Thanks to all of our folks across the world, across Liberia, who always make up time to be here with us. I'd like to welcome you if you're joining us by means of radio, Spoon FM 107.5, Fabric Radio 101.1, or by means of relay on the many radio stations across the country. And many thanks to our online audience. I see a lot of you have already started joining us across the internet. I want to appreciate you. Welcome to the show. We are live across the internet on Spoon TV on Facebook, Fabric TV on Facebook, and Super TV on Facebook. Thanks to all of you joining us on YouTube. Spoon Talk Live is our YouTube handle. I want to welcome Moses Momolu, Jose Torre, David Wokolo. Oh, thanks for joining us, brother. Moses Moses Mongai, Nathaniel K. Hill. Thanks to all of you for joining us tonight. I see Eric McGill is here. Elijah Gamode. I see Andrew Gia is joining in as well. And Joseph Colley is joining us from Minnesota there in the USA. Thanks to all of you for joining us. Let's hope we can have a great show tonight. As we discuss Liberia, as we bring the issues to you here across the country. Thanks to all of you for joining us. Let me welcome the team. Let's go straight into the show. Let me bring our brother Mzee AB Kamara. Thanks for joining us, AB. It's good to have you on tonight.
Yeah, thank you, Nelson. Thank you. It is good for us to be here. For us to be able to discuss the issue that are affecting our country. That is the best way that we ourselves we can be able to contribute to the growth and development of our country. So we are here tonight for us to be able to flex our intellectual muscles, for us to be able to discuss issues that are affecting our brothers and sisters. Thank you.
Yes, it's great to be here tonight. AB, it's good to see you. It's a great thing that we can always come on here to talk Liberia, to discuss the issues, to keep the national conversation going. Uh, and I want to appreciate you and everyone for joining us tonight. Uh, and let's hope we can have a great conversation tonight. Let's hope we can make the most of the time we have to be here. And I want to welcome all of our folks joining us. Henceforth, Joseph, Abraham, Jeru, and the many of you joining us tonight. Welcome to the show. Well, AB, there's been a lot happening across the country in the past 24 hours. A lot has transpired. Um, so many things have been going. So many things have been happening so fast as if you're flipping the pages, and it's just very important that we keep the national conversation going on. Um, Last evening we were here discussing the issues that had to do with the Supreme Court, the Bar Association response to the Supreme Court, and the information we're getting is that there's some shaking within the bar now, the Bar Association. There's some shaking there as we speak. Some members of the bar, especially the people coming from the other side, the other parts of the country, because Ibi, I think you know that the bar is not just a Monrovia-based organization. There are people from different parts of the country who will come up, who make up the bar. The bar has representation across the country. And based on what happened with the president, the president's latest response, an emergency meeting has been called. Some members are saying that, or some chapters are saying that they're not in support of what happened. But again, we're looking forward to seeing what they're about to do. But if you see right on the screen here, AB, the guys, this is the Monrovia Bar Association. They called for an emergency meeting. And they were saying that, look, there will be an emergency advisory board meeting of the Monrovia Bar, of the Montserrat County Bar, Local Bar Association on Thursday, May 1. That's just a day to my birthday. 2025 at the precise hour of 12 p.m. in the VIP room of the cafeteria Temple of Justice. So the Monrovia Bar is about to have their own engagement. They're about to have meeting, and everyone is now concerned what's happening with the bar and what exactly is the Monrovia Bar going to say. What are they going to do today? They're going to have an emergency meeting, and sources or information we've gathered are pointing to the latest response from the president of the bar. Um, our understanding is that this meeting is going to center around some of the issues that the president of the bar raised when they had the latest press conference, where the National Bar Association disagreed with the Supreme Court's decision. And so this is it. And we're looking forward to seeing how that goes. So this is an update to the last conversation we had here on the show. But on the flip side, there are lots of things happening as well in the country. Maybe you're aware that the the president issued an executive order 131 that had to do with the establishment of the War and Economic Crimes Court in the country, the Office of the War and Economic Crimes Court in the country. And it's been about 1 year since that executive order was issued. And in order for this to remain in force, the president will have to every executive order issued by the president is valid for the period of 1 year. And so to get the office of the War and Economic Crimes Court moving and to get it more progressive, to get it going on, to get it legal, the president renewed the executive order today, issuing executive order number 148, reaffirming his administration's commitment to the establishment of War and Economic Crimes Court in the country. So that renewal now from the office of the president is to ensure that the office continue to operate. That office that was established, to ensure the War and Economic Crimes Court is initiated, is created, and all of that. So the last time there was an executive order on this was in May, the 2nd of May. And so the president has renewed the executive order 131 by the issuance of executive order number 148. And so this is where we are. You remember about a week ago, that was on Tuesday of last week, the five major opposition political parties had a press conference. It was raised by the Supreme Motorcyclist Union and the Civil Rights Group, headed by the Civil Rights Group, headed by how do you call it? The Civil Rights Group. Sorry, I'm trying to get something coming on. The Civil Rights Group headed by the former chairman of the CDC. So all of those people converged at the ANC headquarters, where they raised concerns about the president's decision on the Supreme Court's ruling. And there were different speeches made. There were different presentations. And one of those presentations made was by the former vice president of the Republic of Liberia. And that has gone viral. That has gone wild. There has been different reactions to her comment. The former vice president said, look, the president of the country now has the responsibility to ensure that the country is calm. And as a country, we either choose a path of chaos or we choose calm. And it lies within the purview of the president. The country will be calm if we can respect the rule of law, if we can ensure that the Supreme Court can do her work independently without any form of undermining by the executive and all of that, just in a nutshell. And that statement, there's been different reactions. They said they were coming up with a major announcement or pronouncement to the country, in 1 week time. Last Tuesday, or this gone Tuesday, they had another press conference where they said they're setting up a national secretariat that will look after the issue of rule of law in the country and checkmate the government where necessary. And so, because a lot of people have been discussing this, we saw a release from the Executive Protection Service. Now, the first thing to note here is that, Mobile, welcome to the show. It's good to have you on. Thanks for joining in. The first thing to note here is that AB and Mobile, the country has been talking about this particular issue. People have been concerned. And some people have been interpreting this particular statement from the vice president in different way. Of course, obviously, there will be different analysis around such a statement, especially when it has to do with the security, the peace of the country, and all, if it is a political statement coming from a permanent figure like the former vice president. So today we saw a release from the Executive Protection Service, and we're going to pull that up, where they're saying that they will withdraw the security detail from any individual whether former official of government or whoever, who is seen inciting or promoting violent protests against the government or trying to cause chaos. The first place they will start from is that they will withdraw the security detail from you because you're trying to undermine the peace of the country. And since that statement, since that release from the Executive Protection Service, um, there's now been different reactions. A lot of people have been reacting from the Secretary General of the CDC, Jefferson Kochi, wrote a lengthy response to that. He sees it as an intimidation from the EPS. He thinks um, the government is trying to intimidate those officials of government, and so he thinks that it's in the wrong direction. He did a lengthy response to that. Mr. Musa Hassan Bilede, the political leader of the CMC, the newly established CMC, condemned the statement as well. He thinks it's a threat to those officials of government. The decision to withdraw VIP protection from designated former officials of government. And so he says the CMC categorically rejects and condemns that particular move in the strongest possible term. And so this has been a national conversation. This is something that a lot of people have been concerned about. There have been different angles of this particular issue here. But I think we can start the show. Let's start the conversation. Let's get the rest of the show moving on. I want to welcome our folks joining us from across the world. And please share the program. We appreciate if you were to share the show in your different group chats across the social media handles, WhatsApp, and everywhere. So we have a great conversation tonight. Again, welcome to the show, guys. Moba, you want to say what's on your mind? Let's start with you.
Yeah, thank you, Nelson, and thank you to our many listeners. AB, how you doing?
I'm doing good, my brother.
Thank God, thank God. Look, what on my mind is there's a lot of things on my mind, but today, what on my mind is a lot of development that going on in the country. For the past week, I can hear people on social media complaining about current. People got stable current. I see people chanting in red light. They got a stable current red light. You can be who now this time. I think red light is safe for our brothers and sisters, our mothers, and our fathers. Where they want to go, wherever they want to do, they do it. Nobody will be running behind them. Nobody will be jerking their back. Because we all came here the last time, or sometimes we come on the show, we beat on the government for some things. And when these things happening, we need to flare it out. We need to say it. You hold the government feet to fire. But I think now this government is taking the red path when it comes to development agenda. When you're looking at the roads in other places, the roads then are connecting. And you see current people celebrate people that I'm here to work and to deliver. And based on what he's doing, celebrating his work. And he's stopping that. He also trying to make sure when we get in the dry season time in Liberia that we'll be working on it, working on soda and other stuff. In other countries, people will say, why are we celebrating? We got to celebrate. I see Liberians celebrating it. Yes, they got to celebrate because they have not seen that for a long period of time. Someone can you remember when last time I used scoring for like 1 week straight, even bapping. So when the government doing the right thing, we say it. We go into the topic, to the rule of law and other things. When we reach to that part, we cross it. But for development agenda, this government is doing well. Look at Mo Ali, thinking all the poor that have been there since 1847. 1847, the poor they put it under the ground, stay there, somebody get rusted, stay there. Now Mo Ali thinking it. Look at the roads. Now look at electricity. And we're talking about farming. We don't say these things, but we always look for the negative thing to say. But end of the day, we here to say the truth. Take our side is the truth, nothing but the truth. Thank you, Nelson.
Thank you, Moba. You want to go ahead, AB?
Yeah, nothing. I just want to tell our followers and our many listeners on both in Redland and on Facebook, on social media. I want to tell them thank you for coming here, listening to us on what we have to say. I strongly believe that the country is moving ahead. We don't have time for us to be able to look back. We are moving forward. And in so doing, I like the actions of this president. That is the reason why some of us were able to put our life on the line because we knew what the president was going to do. 6 years we were in exile. We could not come to our motherland. We were in exile, chanting, making sure that JMB succeed, come to power. Today, JMB comes to power, and the tiny, small seditions, they are just all around the place. But nevertheless, I love the actions of the EPA's director. The statement was on point, and there is no need for some of us to criticize that statement. And in 100% support of that statement, those who believe that Liberia is Israel, they can go there to go to live.
Okay.
They can go to their Israel.
You know, we were getting to the statement, we're getting to the rest of the conversation, but this is just for the opening. And thanks as well for that great opening tonight. And we can start the conversation from here. Now we discussed what's transpiring there at the level of the bar association, the position the bar took. You know, we lengthily discussed that issue last evening, but today we're getting reports that some members of the bar are having some issues. In fact, based on what's transpiring, there's a major meeting that the Montserrat County Bar is going to have tomorrow. I mean, what do you think is happening here? What do we expect from those guys? Um, this is the first time that we are having this kind of shaking within the bar, especially appearing in the media. That the legal minds, the people who understand the law, the people who provide direction for the ordinary people, especially so when there are critical national issues that borders on the law, these people are going to have engagements. They are having disagreements amongst themselves. There are other people who are saying, yes, the president's statement with respect to the Supreme Court's ruling was on point. There are others who are seriously disagreeing at this point. Yes, of course. In every organization, there will always be disagreements. But this is the first time that this thing is coming to the public like this. And I want to read again what they're saying here. It says, there will be an emergency advisory board meeting of the Monrovia County or the Montserrat County local bar on Thursday, May 1 at the precise hour of 1 p.m. I mean, Mama, I want us to start the conversation from here. Are we seeing politics entering? Look, is this impasse at the Capitol Hill now spreading to all branches of government and all key organizations across the country? Cindy, welcome to the show. Is it spreading across all the different places now? What do you foresee here? What do you think is going to happen here, Mobile? Let's start the conversation with you.
Thank you, Nelson. Look, let me say this. You know, first of all, let me say this, right? Liberia now is highly political. So if anything transpire, like probably if the ruling come or people or is anything, everything is political. Everything you say is political. Look, Nelson, if the Supreme Court get our rules, right? They say, okay, I mean, they get our ruling. They say, okay, this. And somebody from the same bar come out and butcher the statement and say, you know what? I think you should not interfere in the
Yeah,
legislative
but
matter
in fact,
because
they're not
yeah,
buttressing the statement. The bar is disagreeing. The
okay,
bar
yeah,
disagreed last
they
evening.
disagree. Yeah, they disagree with the ruling from the Supreme Court.
Mm,
Yeah,
mm.
because they take out on a salad. I mean, they take out on a salad. Lawyer. No, that be real, right? All the people, they are human beings. They are well learned. They are human beings. They can make error. Emilio say when you judge, you can make error. And I see people always start talking anything come from the judge. That's it. We agree, but don't say. I don't want people to get that notion that whatever they say, it should be the final because it's even if it's not in the confine of other people's jurisdiction, it should be agree upon. Everybody should agree with it. I think it is wrong. We should forget that notion. So if the bar coming together, I mean, if the bar, I know now they're calling
No,
for an
yeah,
emergency meeting, right?
yeah. The
So
national. No, no. I want us to get this one straight,
yeah,
brother.
go ahead.
The mother body, the national bar, which supersedes all the other bars in the country, came up and made a statement
Now,
and said, "This is our position. This is what we think. We think the Supreme Court did not do well, but the smaller organizations now,
for
the
the country and
branches
other
within the
places, yeah,
organization, like the counter bars now, like you have a Monserrato, they're coming
yeah.
up.
But Nelson, that's you see, that's what I'm saying. Everything is political in our country. First of all, the Supreme Court, nursing, the connection. Everybody in our country is connected. Even in anywhere in the Western world, right? In the Western world, these things happen. Because when you know that the person connected no matter what, so that it comes to the type of matter, what happens? Sometimes the person you feel they get more influence over you, they win the case. They're going by the law. I know people come and say, okay, you know what? Because the Supreme Court said this, so everybody should buy by, we agree. Now the people now who the legislators are trying to tell the Liberian people that, okay, you know what? The Supreme Court not to interfere in our matter because whatever we do, nobody dare to judge. Or the only thing we might not do, maybe we might not care, we might not commit crime against the state. Or but between us, we want to take somebody off. If between us we want to do it. If we agree upon it, if we want to make our arrest and everybody's son and care on our voting, that's it. It's our rules, is our rule for our house. So there's no way somebody should come. I come in there and conclude. There's no way somebody should interfere in our business. The Supreme Court go there, they interpret their own interpretation, and they come out with it. Now the whole country so no, Nelson. Sometimes the Supreme Court people say get problem. We're talking whether you like it or not. That's it. People say, oh, there's a harp and a code, anything they say. So even when they wrong, must say they right because they're the highest body of the land. Okay, then they right now. So let the people keep making noise because I didn't want to start the whole thing with an auto virus.
All right,
if they will conclude for the very first time, when I come and reach to the Identical Junction. But end of the day, Liberia. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's take Cindy, then we're going to bring AB in on this one. Cindy, what's your take? Just giving the communication coming in from the bar and what the Monserrato County bar is intending to do. What do you foresee here? What do you think is going to happen here?
Nelson, for the part that I just joined, if Abraham can go, I will be more informed on the discussion.
Okay, so AB, you can go, but just before AB goes, last evening we discussed the situation with the bar, the position the bar took. The bar decided that in her opinion, the Supreme Court's ruling, the Supreme Court erred, and we discussed all of that in detail. But there are issues now within the bar. There are information of a split on that particular opinion. Some people are saying that the president, they don't agree with what the president came up with, and based on that, this communication surfaced today about an emergency advisory board meeting from the Monserrato County Bar. they are calling for all of their members to assemble, that they need to have an emergency meeting. Now, we pull up a statement here, a post from Councillor Arthur Johnson last evening, where he said he disagreed. He said that the president's statement seriously undermined, effectively undermined the Supreme Court. We also saw, as we were concluding with that conversation last evening, the Liberian Senate, the Committee on Judiciary at the Liberian Senate, the chairperson of that committee, who happens to be Councillor Augustine Chie, also took onto social media to say that he had to bow his head in shame for his profession, because he thinks the president of the bar, or the bar's position, was in error as well. So while the bar is talking, is saying that the Supreme Court is in error, some members of the bar are equally saying that the bar is in error. So where are we? But maybe you want to come in, then well, Cindy can come in later.
Not saying anything that is not done at all, is not done correctly, is not done at all. We all read Justice Bessie statement, dissenting opinion. The justice said that what was agreed upon, that was not what the Chief Justice read. What was agreed upon in caucus, that was not what the Chief Justice read. So that means the Chief Justice thought on the agreement that they took the vote on. That means the Chief Justice thought on it. It is not strange to me when those small organizations are coming out making their statement. It is not bad. It is democracy. This is the right that we are valued. This is the right that we, as unity partisans, that we are seeing that all Liberians will be given the right for them to be able to express freely without any humiliation, without anything. But I seriously concur with the bar associations. The bar association was on the right because the justice, the Chief Justice, how can you say that these people, any setting of those people, it is illegal? But you went ahead, you dispatched a team, a financial management team, those money eater gurus, you dispatched them for them to go represent your institutions, to go to sit with the same people that you say any setting that is specified. I think the Chief Justice, I think something is hammocking Madam Yo. I think something is hammocking her, and we understand that.
I understand where you want to go, but AB, let's hold it there. Thank you very much for your input. Let's move to Sandy.
Man, I have not learned it yet.
Yeah, but you know, AB, you can say something hammocking, our chief.
No.
When we can discuss the issue, I mean, she's okay. There's nothing wrong. I mean, AB.
You think Madam Yo is really okay? You think
no,
she is okay?
No, AB, we're not going there. She's okay. Okay. She's been diligently serving her country, and there are lots of positive things that she's done. She's contributing to her country, and so yeah, we don't want to
Okay.
Let's respect that.
Okay. But in conclusion, this is the Bar Association statement. The Bar Association statement, they are saying, hey, we don't agree. The president did not say the president said we don't agree. That means the entire bar So whatsoever statement that those similar organizations come with, they are on their own. But the Bar Association, I say kudos to the president. The president of that Bar Association is in the right direction, and history will place it on the right side. Thank you.
Thank you. Sandy, you want to come in on this one?
Thank you, Nelson. It's good to be here with all of you. Look, there's a clear contradiction in AB's analysis. AB says that because one of the Supreme Court justices disagree with the ruling of the Supreme Court, even though 4 out of 5 agrees with the ruling, AB said, then that's not a fair ruling. Then he disagreed with that ruling because one of the justices disagrees with the Chief Justice and the rest of the justices. But AB is saying, on the other hand, that he disagreed with the smaller bars, like the Montserrado County Bar, because the president of the Liberia National Bar Association came up with a statement that favors the government or the majority bloc. You see, that's a clear contradiction. So we're happy on the other side because it don't favor us, I disagree. But then we're happy on the left side because it favor me, then I agree. Where are you? There must be a balance. Nelson, the president of the National Bar Association, you got to go back and check him. He's a member or partisan of the Unity Party. He ran on the Unity Party ticket before.
The way you say about the current justice minister. So balance it too. I don't want to make that correction anymore. Balance it too.
No, yeah. So you're gonna have
you hire your time. You did not go to history. Let's time. I'm going to history. You want to disrupt me.
Yeah, open your history book, Cindy.
The president of the Liberia National Bar is a member of the Unity Party. He ran on the Unity Party ticket. I am not saying that this would dilute his position. That's not what I'm saying. But it's good to flag people's positions, right? His statement, the National Bar position yesterday when I came, I said, look, they have the right to come up with their statements. They have the right to say whatever they want to say. Anyone can disagree with the Supreme Court. That will not stop the Supreme Court from making judgment or passing judgment on cases. That's their position. But now we are seeing internal conflict. Now that we're seeing that other bars associations are coming and disagreeing with the National Bar Association. Whatever the case is, Nelson, for me, the Supreme Court has given its interpretation. We have a petition to the Supreme Court for rehearing. I'm looking forward to the rehearing, and hopefully after the rehearing, this thing will be put to rest. Or even before the rehearing, we're seeing movement now. People are leaving the Funati Kofa camp, moving to the majority bloc. So now they have the numbers. We argued that last night. They can now go and remove Funati Kofa democratically, following the rules and the rules of the House and the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia. Thank you, Nelson. That's what I can say. I mean,
thank you.
Anyone can agree.
Thank you. I see Mobile. You want 30 seconds. But just
that 30 seconds
is okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that 30 seconds. Look, my brother Cindy, let me say this. Everybody connected. Everybody into certain group. So when we're talking about association with political party, it means to say even when they leave that party, doing that normal thing, it means to say they on our party. Siana Yo, she got a lot of friends on the opposition. That remember now, like George, we have appointed her, and remember the senator who sat on the show and said he wanted to go and pray for the government to fail. She know the senator, they can still talk on the phone, they can discuss. So you know the influence between the people. So she didn't come here and put blame on certain people and the other people. He came on the show and said he wanted the government to fail. So with him saying that, look, it can take a different turn. So don't forget about who know you or what the person know the person or the person of with a political party or the person get close or proximity with the person. That's my point.
Thank you.
Every poll does not work. It's not working for the Supreme Court. And Senayo alone did not make the decision that came out of the Supreme Court. It was 4 of them against 4 out of 5.
Okay, thank you. I think with that we can transition on this particular talking point. And I want to go here. Let me try to find this. So we woke up to this information, or we woke up to this particular statement. I want to get it coming out here the right way. I want to get it coming out here the right way. Okay. So, Cindy, just a quick one to throw in while I'm trying to get this thing up. You were talking about the numbers and all of that. Today, another person joined the majority bloc, Rookie Barry, Representative Rookie Barry of Montserrat County, District 1, from the Liberty Party, joined or crossed over to the majority bloc. So, as it stands, the majority bloc now has 50 people, 50 members. Maybe we will zero in with that conversation. That is if we have time. But let me bring this one in quickly.
There is a very clear difference here. Either as a nation we agree to follow a path of chaos, because once you do not go by the rule of law, then you are calling for chaos. We either do chaos or we do calm, where our country is able to move forward, where the hopes and aspirations of our people will be met, where the dignity that carries the name Liberia across the nations of the world will no longer be looked at as a pariah. This is the choice we have today. And that particular choice is led by the President of the Republic of Liberia. He can decide whether he wants a calm country so that he can fulfill the rescue agenda, which I believe is just a story, as I've been saying, or you can open a Pandora's box that will lead us to a place where we don't want to be.
Or you can open a Pandora box that will lead us to a place where we don't want to be. So that statement set the stage for a lot of things. That statement set the stage for a whole conversation that crossed the country. There's been different analysis, different angles, different lenses that folks have been using to analyze what the former vice president said. But in the midst of all the different things that have been happening, today we woke up to this. And this is it here. Executive Protection Service, the EPS. EPS to withdraw protection from individuals advocating political insurrection. And it says the Executive Protection Service wishes to inform the public that it will withdraw security protection from any VIP protectee who publicly advocates for insurrection, rebellion, or violent protest against the government of Liberia. The attention of the EPS has been drawn to recent public statement made by certain officials, which amounts to call for chaos and violent disruption of public order, which such utterances are deeply concerning and inconsistent with the laws of Liberia. Let me read the final one. With the laws of Liberia. Wow, something is covering this the portion up there. I can see it clearly.
Where are you, Nelson?
Okay, so the next no you can take the first paragraph for the slides up here
As
because
mandated by law, the EPS is responsible for the protection of the president, the vice president, their immediate families, visiting foreign dignitaries, and other senior officials of government as directed by the president. This mandate is rooted in the duty to ensure the safety and stability of the Liberian state. A protectee who actively engages in or incites violence or rebellion against the government forfeits the privilege of EPS protection. As such conduct directly contradicts the EPS constitutional and operational responsibilities. The EPS remains committed to providing professional, impartial, and robust protection to all its designated protectees. However, it cannot and will not be used as an instrument to undermine the peace, security, and constitutional order of the Republic.
no. So this is a statement that came from the EPS today, and since this statement came up, there have been different angles, different analysis around this. Some people are directing this statement or this the statement from the EPS, the notice, they are attributing it or associating it with what the former vice president said. But I mean, taking the former vice president out of the picture, let's look at the statement in its totality. Let's make some analysis around this one. Does the EPS is the EPS being timely about this? I mean, just the statement coming up from the EPS at this time, is it timely? Is there something that the EPS should be held for? Is this a way to go at this point? Is there any reason why anybody should associate this particular statement from the EPS with that of the statement of the former vice president of the Republic of Liberia? Because let's go here. Let's go all in. The former vice president of the Republic of Liberia, the former president of the Republic of Liberia, those are people who have access to EPS, Executive Protection Service. No, they are not in government right now, but they are ex-officials of government and they have access to, to these services. Now, what we see coming out here from the EPS, will it be fair to the EPS to uprightly direct this particular statement to the former vice president, to attribute it, to say, oh, maybe it's coming up because of what the former vice president of the country said? And if that was the case, is the EPS wrong? I want us to start an analysis around this one. Let's start with you, Moba. What do you make of this?
Yeah, thank you. Let me start with the former vice president first. Look, Nelson, you see leaders, when they speak, whenever they speak, it had the capacity to cause chaos. It had that voice. When they speak, that voice, it come with weight. People listen people want to follow them, whatever they say, the positive side or negative side. Their voice had the capacity to cause chaos. Next thing, if a vice president can come out, and make that type of statement, at least you can say something different. Maybe you can say, "Oh, we want to," like you can, everybody can say.
But did the former vice president go for a Sunday school party, or was I a political?
No, she went on a political talk, right?
Okay.
Now, but if you're making that type of statement, that if the government, first of all, the president not violate any law when it comes to the identical issues that are going on, people just keep pushing the president inside, that'll cause chaos. What come and beat on the president? The president do this, the president do that. The president spoke within his wisdoms. He said, "I will, those who have the number, I will follow, I will have quarrel with them." Now, based on that topic, it can be Funati Kofa. Let it go back, they go settle. Funati Kofa can either have the number or the majority, the minority, anybody can have the number. But then he acknowledged the Supreme Court ruling, and he respected the Supreme Court ruling. But for people to come and keep pushing, wait. So you want for the president to come out and say, everything stop. Nobody should do anything. Probably that's the statement they all were waiting for, or probably wonder for the president to come out with, to say everything stop, nobody do anything until you settle this. No, that government will run it. They're not boss call, they're not check call. You go according to, everybody get that code according to the measurement. He never interferes, say, I will work with a person, I'll work with a person. He make a what? He make a direct statement. It can be on the majority, it can be on the minority. We put it on majority and minority. But it can go by other people from the majority can say, okay, you know what? Since this thing happening going on the minority, so we can get the majority up, so we can fight. That's the reason why he came out and said, I will have a quorum with whosoever that has whatsoever the number or whatsoever. But people just pushing the president inside to bring chaos. Why would you go and tell your people that the president violated the Constitution, the president not listen to the Supreme Court ruling, the president come up with his own ruling. So based on that, he violating the Constitution, and if it continue, you will bring people on the street. It will not be good. It will not be good for the Liberian people. Next is the third. Did
she really say she will bring people on the street?
She said in her statement, she said it will not be good.
It will not be good. No. Sorry, Moba. Let me play this statement again.
When the people speak nursing.
Sorry.
There is a very clear difference here. Either as a nation we agree to follow a path of chaos, because once you do not go by the rule of law, then you are calling for chaos. We either do chaos or we do calm.
Okay. The former vice president saying, we either do chaos or we do crime.
Nothing. That's why.
And she's saying chaos means you're going by the rule of law.
No, chaos.
Chaos means you are disrespecting the rule of law.
No, but she referring.
You are doing what the law says.
Nothing. Let's make the conversation juicy now. She referring to the president as the way you frame it now. She referring to chaos. Yes.
No. But listen to the English. Vice president did not say they will cause chaos.
She said you heading to a chaos. Now, what the president doing before they head into a chaos? Because the president disagree with the Supreme Court. The president disagree with the Supreme Court. According to that statement, they said the president violated. The president not listening to the Supreme Court. So based on that, that's how they came out with that statement. That's how they came out with that press conference. And within that press conference, she said, if you go by the rule of law, we all will live something, and then, but if you think that you not go by the rule of law, then then we will bring chaos. There will be a chaos. Who will bring the chaos? That's my question. Who will bring the chaos? Who will bring the chaos? She's talking about it. Nothing. Like the former vice president, she still got her power. She can mobilize people. She can talk to people. She can put people together to do things. So she didn't come in and she got caught anything. It's wrong for somebody. Look, Nelson, when drugs are in power, how many times when people see these things, we all come in and condemn it.
Moba, Emmy, welcome to the show. Turil, welcome to the show. Is this, are you pushing the argument here? Because you haven't even gone to the EPS statement yet.
I'll go to, but
you
that's
still,
why I want to
you
read
still on
message.
the former vice president's statement. So you're saying you're trying to analyze the statement to me that the former vice president was inciting people.
Nelson,
she was going towards the direction of political insurrection, as the statement is saying on this.
No,
do you think the statement was really referring to her in the first place?
Nelson, that identical statement the vice president made, right? They got weight. She got people behind her. You can say, look, you call a press conference and come out and say something, but don't say, because Nelson, my main issue here, what rather I pointed out here is that they keep putting the president into this. They said the president violating all the laws. Based on that, based on what the president is doing, they want to come out there. There will be a chaos. Which chaos are we talking about? It doesn't chaos. People just sit down and say, okay, you know what? I will sit down to our house. Chaos. We all know what chaos means. We all know we're not 2 years old children. But let me go to the EPS on the issue, right?
The EPS. Do you think it was timely? Was it statement prudent in the first place?
First of all, when I listened to a lot of people, I thought I was thinking probably the EPS already been taking the officers from the former vice president, the president.
No, they said they will. They will.
Yeah, but listen, it's still indefinite. We don't know. But within our letter, when you look at our letter, they just say they will get holidays. Maybe it was a warning. I would agree that a technical letter would be it was sent as a warning. It not say as we come and do it now.
They said EPS. Look at the heading there.
Yeah,
the subject of the communication. EPS to withdraw protection from individuals advocating political insurrection. So withdraw, which means this is something they're contemplating. This is something they're considering. It hasn't taken effect yet.
That's what I'm saying. So but my thinking was, I was thinking that probably they already take auto or EPS officer from the former president and the former vice president. That was my thinking. But when I went through everything, I was like, oh, but the people stay with it. Although a letter came out today, which is in Liberia yesterday, but Nelson, probably I believe with him, I said that's a caveat. It's just like, we respect everybody, but we don't want people. To me, it's my own interpretation. But because I think the EPS, the EPS boss will take any other people from the former president and the former. I want to take that challenge. I want to bet it. It's a caveat. And
no. We're not doing casino here. Thank you.
And it's a caveat for everybody. Let it be on that guy. You should say certain things, but don't say certain things. You can't have behind somebody and then he's saying things like this. It's not right.
But Moba, some people think and they have done different reactions to it. But let's go around the table for time's sake. Abi, there has been a lot of reaction to this particular statement. A lot of people think that you saw a reaction from Mayor former Mayor Jefferson Koji, now Secretary General of the CDC. He thinks is an intimidation from the ruling establishment. You saw a reaction from Mr. Musa Hassan Belede of the CMC. The CMC thinks that this particular move here on the part of the government is a crackdown on freedom of speech. It's a threat to the democracy of the country. These are things they are saying. We don't have the luxury of time to go through the entire realm of the statements, the respective statements they came up with. But what do you think here? Abi, do you think this statement was prudent? What's your stance here on this issue?
Nothing. Let us first look at who does the EPS assign to. The EPS assign to VIPs in the countries. So in time past, she was the VIP. In time past, Mr. Weah was VIP. So now they are not in office. EPS officer is to be assigned with them. It is their right for them to be protected under the law. But it's also the EPS right for them to be able to observe whosoever that made threatening statements that will bring out insurrection in the country, that will bring out chaos in the country, then you don't deserve an EPS protection anymore. Then that means you are stated that you can be able to protect yourself. But
No.
fast spender,
No.
I come in, nothing, I come in.
Okay, yeah. Lend your thoughts just before I come.
Fast spender, who is Madam Taylor? Is it someone who really value the rules of law? Our personally would say no. What happened right here to Gefty Lama? Would they not hear fine from office? What happened to George Van Boto? Would they not hear fine from office? Then now you come here to come to Mickey Mouse to come to tell us about some rule of law?
You know, when you say Mickey Mouse, it makes me think that you honor the super. But you know, AB, here's the point. As an ex-official of government, she's entitled to executive protection.
No doubt.
And I'm glad you agree with that aspect. Secondly, the EPS cardinal responsibility is to provide security for the VIPs.
Which I said.
Who is she? She's a VIP. She may not be the current vice president of the country, but she's a VIP. She served her country. She's entitled to certain benefits, you know, and all of that. So if the former vice president is entitled to those benefits, and she went to a political rally, not a Sunday school party, she made a comment there, and then the EPS comes back with a statement to say they will withdraw, you know, the security detail from people who. So, I mean, what are we saying here, AB?
Was that statement timely?
Statement timely?
That statement was more than timely. That statement was on the right track of history. That statement was in place. That statement was 199 degrees on the right path of trajectory. That statement, I strongly believe that statement is served as a caveat for any one of them. No, the EPS director is not stopping them from going for political rally. That's not what we are saying here. But you should be cognizant of what you say. What you say?
Mr. Musa Hassan Bileti of the CMC is saying that this is a crackdown on free speech. Yamazin Koji is saying that there is an intimidation to opposition figures in the country.
Why you think that the EPS director did not refer to former SD, former party chairman Mola Molu? You think that is okay? So that statement is directed to the whosoever feared to themselves that they were VIP and they were sitting down making derogatory statement. That's as a person that the EPS.
Thank you. AB, I want to hold you there. Let's take Sandy, who's sipping on a cup of tea. You know, the milk cup is as big as 5 buckets combined. You know, and he's gonna finish that before the end of the show. But Sandy, come on, okay, you need some glasses.
Nelson, going to come from 2 different angles on this issue.
Okay,
we are on a global network, so let's make it very clear. In Liberia, EPA protection is only mandatory under our constitution for current VIP. It is not, it does not have legal mandate for former president, former leaders. It's not any of our laws. Check it out and let me know if I'm wrong. Our law does not legally provide protection And even though I think we should put it in the law, but we don't have it in the law right now. Our law does
You're
not
right.
give any of our legal
No,
protection.
you're right on that.
The
No
former
argument on that
leader.
aspect.
What we have been doing is customary. We do them favor. When you serve us, we'll provide you protection afterward. It's just a favor we're doing. The U.S., people referencing the U.S. here, the U.S. has it as a law. The USA, the president, the vice president, Supreme Court, they have lifetime protection. It's in their law. We don't have it in our law, but it's only customary. I want to make that clear. Now, if it's not in the law, it becomes a privilege. That means it's not your right. It becomes a privilege. That means you are being given it as a privilege. So after clearing that, let's come to the vice president statement. Now, the vice president's statement, I will say, can have many interpretations. The statement was not full-fledged clear. The statement was a hanging fruit. The statement was speaking to ills in government. The statement was addressing ills in government and saying the level of chaos that we are seeing could lead to chaos. The level of the lack of respect for the rule of law could lead to chaos. But Nelson, I agree with some of the previous speakers, right? When you are a leader, try to make your communication as clear as possible so that people will not speculate, so that people will not think that you are causing for or calling for unrest or any sort of conflict, because that statement could be interpreted as such, or it could be interpreted in other forms, right? So the statement to me was unclear on many fronts. How it was released, however, also, I felt that it was a bit too strong, in my opinion. But, Nelson, communication also takes into factor time. Now listen to the response, or listen to the statement from the EPS. The EPS response is a direct answer or direct response to the former vice president. Clear.
You think so?
Yes.
Someone says that the former vice president was not named in that statement. Nobody called her name. Nobody mentioned her.
Nelson, when you look at the timing, when you look at what was said in the EPS communication, you know that something led to that communication. What led to that communication is the former vice president's statement. So they were indirectly addressing the former vice president. And to come out to come out that way is that you're warning somebody. Is that you are saying, it's like a threat. You have a child, the child relying on you for candy. The child maybe says something or did something in school. Now you start to say indirectly, if any child don't come with their grade sheet tomorrow or they misbehave on campus, I will no longer bring candy for you. That's just a simple analogy I can make. That is a direct response to the VP. And I think our government need to mature out of those kind of things, right? You cannot just rebuttal in such, format publicly. If you want to take the security away, there's another way you can do it. You can write her. You can call her for comment. If you think she's threatening the nation, we have security in the country. Call her to answer to her statement. But to now stand on that statement and say, okay, we will remove protection from you. For me, it's a bit unprofessional. It's a bit unprofessional. There are better ways we can do things like that without doing tit for tat. You say this, I will say this. You do this, I will do this. There's a better way you can do it without displaying it publicly in such
So,
unprofessional.
Cindy, are you telling us that the EPS should have called a conference? You go in one conference room, you go sit down there, you say, oh, the thing you do is not correct, will bake you, don't make the kind of statement again. Now, I mean, given the political aspect of this whole thing, because there are two things happening here. There is a politics of everything that's transpiring, and there is, I don't want to say legal side, but there is a patriotic side of what's happening here, and there's a political side of it. The political side is that the former vice president is a politician. She goes to a political event, she will speak like a politician. Now, remember when former President George Weah, he went to one program and he said, Dylan, who was that? Was it Senator Dylan or who somebody? He said, Dylan used to go to my heart, he used to eat my food, and all those things. Dylan used to go to my heart, eat my food. That kind of man come and say you will win, will beat you. And other people thought that the former president was at her political right. Though a lot of people condemn him, they say he was former president, he shouldn't have gone to talk about how somebody went to her and eat a food and stuff. But other people said he's a politician. He was not on a Sunday school rally. So he spoke as a politician in the context to make sure that his candidate was in a better position politically. So is there any reason why we shouldn't associate that analogy with what's happening here?
Nelson, we look at the history of our country. We are a country that experienced, I always argue, over 15 years of civil war. I moved the war as far back as 1980, or maybe we should say 85. And then when someone is talking about chaos, if you want chaos, you will see chaos. If you can play that statement again, but that's how it sounds like. If you provoke, if you do this, you will see what you will see. It is a threat.
Do you think the former vice president threatened the country?
Our leaders' positions are very powerful. They are following. There are better ways to say those things, Nelson. I do disagree with this government.
Sorry to interrupt you. Sorry to interrupt you. You will come back.
You always interrupting, but interrupt.
There is a very clear difference here. Either as a nation we agree to follow a path of chaos, because once you do not go by the rule of law, then you are calling for chaos. We either do chaos or we do calm, where our country is able to move forward, where the hopes and aspirations of our people will be met, where the dignity that carries the name Liberia across the nations of the world will no longer be looked at as a pariah. This is the choice we have today. And that particular choice is led by the President of the Republic of Liberia. He can decide whether he wants a calm country so that he can fulfill the rescue agenda, which I believe is just a story, as I've been saying, or you can open a Pandora's box that will lead us to a place where we don't want to be.
Sandy, did she threaten the peace of the country?
The last.
No, Sandy.
My man, let me go. You are not Sandy. You are not Sandy.
No. Yeah, you are not Sandy. You are Zoka. You are not Sandy. But
and nobody here is Sandy. Somebody
this
is
was
Sunday.
a political statement. This is someone going to a political gathering and making a statement.
Yeah. No, that last part, Nelson, that last part is very loaded. That last part is loaded. You know, I can see it from both angles. I see where she's saying she's addressing again disagreement with the government. She's an opposition. She's addressing disagreement, but communication, Nelson, especially when you're a public figure, you must be mindful of how you express yourself so that people will not believe that you are speaking in ways that will uproot chaos. Now, you can disagree. I disagree with the president's positions, also some of the things the government is doing. But to say publicly in the ways that she expressed herself, that was a bit intense. And she has huge following. I say our disagreement as a country should not lead us to making statements that will not only make people in the country to be afraid, but make people outside of the country, investors, visitors, foreigners that want to come to us to be afraid.
Thank you.
It has not gotten to the level where we will have instability. The government has not put us to that level. We haven't reached that level yet.
Thank you.
We're not even close to it, sir.
Ture, you want to come in on this one? And while you're coming in, I just want to highlight here that the former vice president was not speaking from a prepared text. If you look there, if you look on the decks, you see the microphones of the different media institutions, but there's not a single paper she was speaking from. So she was speaking extemporaneously. She was speaking offhand. There was nothing there that she was reading from. I just thought to highlight that. But go ahead, Ture.
Yeah, Nelson, thank you very much. You see, an elderly man once told me, he said, Ture, for you to have a context on any situation, you should first of all understand the full text. And that was evident right now when you decided to play that tape for Senny to have some insight into it. You see, Senny, all of a sudden, Senny position changed at the very end. Let me tell you. You see, Nelson, is like someone giving you a scholarship to attend a university. And that scholarship is contingent upon certain guidelines and responsibility that you need to adhere to from your end. If the scholarship says you have to maintain 2.0 or 3.0 GPA, guess what? You have to meet that. If you don't meet that, guess what, Nelson? They're going to take that scholarship away. This is exactly what the EPS, this is exactly what they're telling her. And this is the thing, Nelson, for so long, we have had people that enjoy state protection, right? That enjoy state protection, be the ones preaching for chaos. So the EPS is saying, that's the thing. If you're gonna subject yourself in that kind of posture, guess what? We're gonna pull that protection away. Then you and the people, you and the public will deal with whatever y'all have to deal with. Because you're not gonna create chaos and enjoy state protection. We're not doing that. That's not the type of time we're on. This was a preemptive strike to the VP. You either abide by the guideline in regards to what gives you that protection, or you forfeit it by us pulling it away. It is absolutely as clear as it can get. You see, Nelson, people always talk about to have a context, you should understand the text. If someone would have just read that EPL release, you would say, oh, the government is trying to do something. But you go back and listen to what you sort of motivated that release, you understand that they are in the right. He who enjoys the protection of the EPS, right, should also maintain certain guidelines. That is, you cannot in any way get yourself involved in what we call an insurrection against the state. You know what I mean? Like, Nelson, let me tell you, the VP would have gone over there and not say anything, but virtue of her presence being in that environment, it is an endorsement on her part. Because, look, let me tell you, man, you can go to an area where there is, you know, like, people saying stuff, And I personally, I go to a club, Nelson, and I enter the club. The first thing I want to see exactly the posture of people in the club. If I see any semblance of violence or any sort of aggression, guess what? I get myself out of that place because I don't want to be part of that. So, but she sat there. Not only did she sit there, right? She also contributed to what was a genuine and front on the state. Because something people are saying that not her per se, but even what she said, you can actually look at it to be an incitement. But other people around her said things that, you know what I mean, that were worse. So by virtue of the fact that she was in that environment, motivated the EPAs to come out with the release. Madam VP, you enjoy state protection. Actions at that event violate the status of the protection that you are getting. So let's make it clear. Moving forward, if you continue to behave in this form and manner, we will have no other option but to pull that protection away from you. That's exactly what that statement is.
Ture, let's take a look at some of the responses, some of the analysis around this statement. CMC Musa Ability says this is a crackdown on free speech. Former Mayor Jefferson Koji is saying that this is an intimidation of political figures in the country. A former District 8 Representative Moses Akaras Gray is saying that there's a need for an immediate call for a mass citizen protection force, the CPF of the leader. The EPS Director Sam Gay requests to withdraw security. This is what he posted, and I'm reading from what he posted. To withdraw security protection is tantamount to political assassination and so forth. But I mean, what do you make of the different analysis around this particular issue here?
I think CMC will do anything right now to grab any political attention. I mean, there's a new branded political party that don't have any footprint in the political dispensation of the country. So any little bit of things CMC will want to actually, submerge themselves into that discussion. I mean, I will do that. This is called brand awareness proposition, for lack of a better word. That's what CMC is doing. I mean, bro, any PR right now for CMC is a good PR. What a negative or positive. So I don't have a problem with Musa ability inserting himself in that area. This is not an affront on free speech. Come on, man. If anything, this is just someone telling you, look, man, you are risking your ability to enjoy state protection, right? So they can spin it any kind of way they want to spin it. By the end of the day, man, Nelson, Bureau, I mean, gone are those days where politicians will actually come to try to, manipulate public opinion. We are so smart. We are so sophisticated now. Liberians are. Bro, we see these things. We see when propaganda show its face. We know what it is. All right? I can't agree of all people talking about, normality. Is that dude stand for anything that has to do with normal? I mean, his appearance doesn't even look normal. You know what I mean? This is a guy I would never forgive Akara Gray. This guy who felt that he has so much power, was able to gather a bunch of talks, walk on a state university, or a segment of the country that he commands. You would think any rational person will not do anything of such, right? Walk onto students, brutalize them. Then there's a guy who want to talk about normality. This is a guy who want to talk about, respect for rule of law. This is a guy who want to be the flat barrier for constitutional absolutists. Then you go sit down, man.
Let's take soiree. Then Emmy will take us home.
Nelson got to promote it, man. Why you brought it, man? Stop.
Emmy will take us to the phone line. Soiree, you want to go ahead?
Thank you. Hi, guys, and let me say hi to each and
everyone following the broadcast
I don't know
tonight.
how many of you realize Suarez is putting up weight. You know,
Come on, bro.
the
Yeah,
male morphology going away, crash.
my man.
Oh, go ahead.
Thank you guys for holding the ground. You know, it is good that we're back here to discuss Mama Labira, and obviously people will have different point of view as to how they see certain things. That's democracy. But Nelson, when you read that statement, I saw a lot of condition attached to what the EPS stands for, and one who want to understand what are some of the responsibility and duty that the EPS can carry on. Part of their responsibility, you want to talk about investigating permanent threat against the state, and we got have many arguments, whether from the mother show, the spoon talks, and other show that we've been watching. There are arguments that the EPA has limitation, all sort of things. They're saying they are not even reading the art of the EPS that created the EPS. Right? Somebody want to question how they write letter, how they put a certain communication out there. Now we're talking about Liberia, yeah. And people will say, but why didn't the APS did not come out with certain statement at a certain point in time when they felt that was a threat against the statement? That could be a question tomorrow. I disagree with anybody that would say, because there are a lot of things the APS said within that statement. People are not looking, but they only looking at the part of the letter that talk about taking away, and the very privilege that has been given to VIP and protectees. And in that letter, there was no specific name called, but people are feeling threatened, people are feeling intimidated by what they said, and they know within themselves what they said against the states. Like I would agree with my brother saying, if you're a leader, you have to project yourself out there. What are the political rally? What are a birthday party? Things that you say has weight because you have follower. So when you say certain thing, the implication of that statement, it will not appear into our ears like a political statement, or you are just saying something to make yourself feel happy because you see a lot of things there. And to scratch a very unique point there, you talk about there was a series of leaders who spoke on that particular event. There are a lot of threatening statements made. We're just talking about the vice president statement. You listen to a brother who is called Yellow Machine, I don't know it right now, said to be an advocate for the Supreme motorcycle union. The brother statement was very inappropriate. And try to say they even know government official. So when people try to make these kind of a statement, the government should be concerned that it
Again,
is
to
a sitting government for you to hear people. Come on, we can have a lot of disagreement as to how we progress with our country, but not to make certain statement in a name or you want to show all your persons. I heard the Musa ability, the other folks talking about there is a means of threatening them to silence them. Then the government will go after the both 2FM, the 2FM in Sakape, the 2FM in Monrovia there. Government can shut them down because of certain media policies. I mean, there are a lot of things government can do to silence you. But when you make certain
Thank you.
statements and the government come with an appropriate response to that statement, then you should know where you stand. You should know that they got people who in authority. It's the
Thank you.
right thing to checkmate people when they are going right, when they are going wrong in a government that is the heart of heads and people and in authority. So I mean, I see no wrong with that statement. Somebody will say it's not timely. I don't know when these statements should come out. Then you come and tell me that in another
Thank you.
argument.
Thank
In the time of in the time of where people not making these statements, then EPA just because and gave us statement of that, then we'll try to question why are you giving such a statement, because there's nobody making any threat to the state. What an indirect or direct threat. Let's look at it. And somebody want to ask me what is the weight and what is the protection threat. Now you can ask the EPS what are some of the information that you are getting in relation to what makes them to come up with this particular statement, because there are a lot of things we're hearing. Even people are saying maybe not on platform they want to overthrow government. It's alarming. We can have our disagreement. We disagree with people who said they wanted to, and we had to step down. In their mind, the government was not proceeding well. It doesn't make any sense. I think we have to
Thank you.
use different trajectory in putting our issue forth.
Emmy, you want to take us to the lines?
Sure, Nelson. So, yeah, I think everybody has said it rightly. But something I want to point out is people always like what Ability said, people talking about freedom of speech, you cracking down on freedom of speech and all of that. But they don't understand that there's difference between freedom of speech and then there's difference between when you threaten someone or something, like all of these threats that were made, and my brother Suare pointed out into it, there was a lot of things that was said over there. I don't think the government pay attention to that by other people, right? And they didn't capitalize on that. Why? Because those are just mere followers. Even though yes, the police can intervene in those things, but we have to look at a person that we are talking about, the VP, former VP. Like everyone I've already said, she's very powerful. She still is powerful. You have a lot of people sitting over there. I don't know. All of the things she was saying, they didn't clap. But when she said Pandora box, I don't know whether they understood what Pandora box was, or they thought she was being speaking like student or whatever and calling big words. I don't know what that was, but those are the kind of things that you pay attention to. And then when she called, like the last time I came on here, I said I don't think her speech was any threatening. So I listened to the full speech right now, and Nelson said it right. I said she could have been thinking that the president was violating the law, right, or disagreeing with the Supreme Court, which he did not. Whatever he's doing is in line with the Supreme Court. I think they want him to the Constitution. They want him to violate the Constitution. That's why they're telling him to go above what he's supposed to do. But I think that's what she thought was happening. But if that's what she think was happening, she did not say anything wrong. To actually listen to the full speech right now. And why you're saying this is that to touch on it a little bit, you have a full protection. Your home is secure. Every night you sleep sound. You walking in the street. You driving in the street. Everything is good for you, right? These people you're calling out, the innocent people who I'm always here every night, talking for. You're calling for chaos. You're calling for calm or no calm. We can get in there or we can something. You're not the one who's gonna be doing that. There's nothing gonna happen to you when shooting kids chaos come about, right? Shooting kids, there's incitement that you're doing. When it start up, God forbid, you're not gonna be affected. Even the president is not gonna be affected. All of y'all got security. All of y'all got our resources, right? Y'all the one enjoying it. Who's gonna be affected? The innocent people that you're calling out. They're the ones gonna be tear gas, sprayed, beaten, everything. So I think in that case, you can be enjoying the security of our state, the state, and then you calling for chaos when you're not going to be the one in that chaos. It's going to be the innocent people who are going to be in there, not you. Okay, so why would you be doing? Yeah, and I told people going ahead, freedom of speech. I said no. If the government would have came up and said that, if anybody protests, they would do that, then that would be wrong because that is their constitutional, right to do so. But the Constitution did not tell anybody to incite violence. So the Constitution is a protest peacefully, not lead us to come out and incite violence and stuff. And people are saying that, well, Black guy did this. He said something like that. Even my brother Anthony here said something that they're doing the campaign. Said if he doesn't win, the country will end. That is a lie. Your brother that campaign strategy during the campaign. I mean that propaganda during the campaign on what he said. It didn't work. He won, and you still want to bring it out while he's president. And that's why every time I keep asking for the tape, he never said that. He said things. He said how George Weah government was ruining the country. They were stealing the money. They were taking the resources. They were stealing. They were doing all of this. And then they did not do the job that the Liberian people give them to do. And then time for election, they want to steal the election. Do not let it happen. He was telling people to go ahead and vote and protect their votes. If you let it happen, this country is finished. What does that mean? They will be on steroid the next time they come. They will not have nobody, no turn. Nothing else to worry about, no more election. So they will do it worse. That's what he made. He even came out and explained the same thing. Now, our brother didn't want to come tell you, say, Joe Biden said you're going to go in the bush and bring gun and start killing everybody when he went. Come on now. That's like Therese said, we are not going on those days that you will come up with your propaganda and come up with lies just to make something look good for you and something. And you think we will all buy it. No, we will come here. When you come here to confuse our people, we will be here. And I think all of us listen to that speech. And when you come and start to bring up the lie again, it didn't work for you the first time, you want to bring it back up. We will also come here. We all speak English as well. We will also come here and tell you. That's why when somebody cut a little clip and just bring me the host name. Let me tell you the context in which you are speaking from. You cannot just call up a clip and just drop it up and not tell the full something. No, it doesn't tell the full story. So this is what it's not the same as somebody telling you said it will create chaos and something like this. No, that's not the same. So to come and be telling us those things, why is it comparing the two? No, it's apples and oranges. So it shouldn't be compared.
Thank you. I mean, Anthony.
Before Anthony go, Nelson, if Nelson there, I think we are now on air now. I mean, on radio actually. I think we are off.
Yeah, because I think his network giving power. So
oh god.
So I think we're not on YouTube. Yeah, Anthony, go ahead.
Mova, and everyone, yeah, hello. Mova, you have means of playing the audio, because I wasn't even going to go to that audio until Amy just mentioned.
No.
All right, Amy does a very good job. She speaks softly, so it sounds so good in the ears of the people. It come out with that.
I mean, if we could play the whole thing, but we don't have the whole thing.
Forget about the whole thing. Even CNN, BBC don't play the entire tape. They play something called. Listen, they play something called soundbite. Soundbite is the portion of the comment that sparked the conversation, and we share that soundbite in the group chat. You claim as though you want to hear the entire the whole event. That was a 2-hour event. Nobody gonna say that.
I didn't say you said the whole event. That's not what I said. I said
but again, what you're doing right now is the Anthony doing. You say
okay. I'll wait till you're done.
Good.
Yeah,
I ain't getting no clue rapport on a particular show. Everything that everybody else does when I do it, my knee can spoil. So our knee can always spoil. He can be top 20 again, So we our knee already spoiled. So we agree with that. So tonight, the truth of the matter here is that dishonesty have a way of coming into our mind unintentionally because of our implicit biasness. It was never our intention to be biased, nor to be neglectful of the truth, but because we have that love of a person, we will never see the wrong in that person. What JMP said was wrong. That if they tamper with the election, there will be no Liberia. That is not what a leader can say. There will be no Liberia. That's why he's saying you're going in the bush. He said there will be no Liberia. Right? But we know what that means. I can tell you for a fact, under no circumstances there should be any form of negotiation behind closed door right now. They already paid out of their arrears of what they shouldn't have even withhold. They withheld those arrears because quote unquote Richard Koo was then the speaker. Everything is non and void, so that suspension was not a void. They pay the people money that they due them. Then they said because they pay the money, Fonatikofa should resign, Richard Koo should remain as speaker. Richard Koo, even if Fonatikofa resigned today under the law,
Anthony,
It's not.
Anthony,
one
one different
second.
topic here.
It's not a topic we on. The reason she make that statement, she was making a reference on certain the statement that the former vice president made.
Yeah.
So the reference she was making, but what like what
I'm just
the
letting you
direction
know
you're
right
going
now
is not in the confines
reason why all
of the
of these
discussion
things,
right now.
Yes, this my only point tonight. If I have a means right now of picking up the phone to call George Manawia, the only person that can put a stop to the mayhem that this administration is doing right now is George Manawia walking in the street with Fonatikopa strictly to the House of Representatives. Once George Weah put a foot in the street with Fonatikopa, the amount of crowd that will be pulled, this administration will get right now. All that press statement here, that's a bluff. Opposition not ready yet. Opposition not ready yet. Because if George Weah put a foot in the street and said Fonatikopa, look, Julius Malema get the cry he gets in South Africa because he himself is walking with the people. June 7 was successful because Cummings, Boakai, Delon, and every one of them were in the streets. It was not just Costa. But you can't say you are a political leader, you are head of the opposition group, and sit in your home and expect ordinary folks to be in the street. When we started the protest in Abidjan, that brought me to America, I was in the street every single day. I didn't sit home and organize people and crank my leg. I was in. Matter of fact, we were the first every morning to be at the United Nations office every single morning.
Anthony,
And the reason why these things are happening, like bro, every single day they go to political headquarters and we do this. You don't announce. You don't announce. It's spontaneous. It's your conviction. It is what you believe in, and you stay in the street. Your supporter will follow. You can't sit down and say, "Oh, I hear Vasco talking about July 17th." You're not serious. The thing is happening now. You take action now. You don't have to wait to negotiate with them. Supreme Court have already.
Thank you, Anthony.
What sort of negotiation you want? Yeah, do way in that country. I wish I had George Weah number right now. I'll call you.
Can I have my 30 seconds?
Thank you. Yeah, that would go around the 30 seconds.
So my brother came here to debunk what I said about the president's campaign message, and he paraphrased it. There will be no Liberia. Okay. And I say it again. He never just said it. When he said it and y'all started making it with campaign rhetoric, he came out and explained what he meant. Even though all of our owners do it, but it was campaign time. So we give it to you. Now campaign is 2029, and then you come in again with the same rhetoric. And I will say again, when I said I want to hear it, I want to hear the speech from where he started and make that comment when he ended where. I didn't tell you to play the whole program. Because what he said is what I'm saying. We all watched that something. I think it was in Buchanan or something like that. And when he make that comment, he said they are looting the country. They are doing what they're supposed to do for the past 6 years. They didn't do it. They're losing the country. Then time for election, they want to steal the election. Don't let it happen. You sit on here and let it happen. We are winning again. This country is finished. That's what he said. He didn't say I will go in the bush or something. So that means from what he said previously, you can tell from what he meant. And you talking about you come here talking about rule of law. That you don't want to tell him we have to get in the street. We are getting in the street and carry Fonatikofa in wheelbarrow or in Tesla. What does that mean to anybody? That what he will go beat the people but in there something to at the Capitol building to move? Anthony, please, man, that make the conversation juicy. We have been here.
Jala, we are going around the queue. That would take AB from AB that you from you will go to Touré, then we'll go to Soiree. Then we'll take the main last. AB.
Y'all act like y'all love the country. Y'all have the Senate. Y'all have the.
Anthony will come back to you.
That AB get 30 seconds and Becky will still get you, my brother.
You know,
the solution, you will get your feelings. You will really get your feelings because it's here not any girl. You will really be in your feeling for a long time. Back to the issues. The issue that has to do with the vice president, you know, for me, I decided to think, when was the last time it is now that the vice president know about the rule of law? It is now. What happened to Gifty Lama? The vice president did not say "Fwa." What happened to George Vambuto? The vice president did not say "Fwa." What happened to the 3 missing boys? The vice president did not say "Fwa." It is now she wants to come to show herself. And I strongly believe that the EPS director, he is in the right side of history. That EPS director, Mr. Sengay, will go down in history as one of the best.
Thank you, Abby. Oh, that conclude, Abby. That conclude. That will go out this.
The issue of the sedition, the tiny, small sedition. The thing you're playing with, you got right 12 years to go.
Thank you. Thank you. Cindy, go ahead, my brother.
Look, I see my big brother Gibson Jerry in the comment section there.
Is it Joe? Get through it.
But what I want to say, the big brother said in the comment section that it is by law that the EPS provide protection for former VIP or former leaders of the country. I came here and said it is not by law. Our country, I want it to be by law, but it's not currently by law. We do not have it in our law, in any of our laws, that the EPS should provide or is mandated legally to provide protection for any of our former leaders. So, Big Brother Gibson, you are arguing in the comment section that it is mandated legally. I want you to provide that law. Unlike in the US, where it is legally mandated that they get protection for life, that is not the case for Liberia. But I think it should be, because if people serve you to that level, they deserve protection. There are information that they have, there are certain things that they may have done while serving, and they deserve protection. And that should be done by law. What we do right now is customary. But I strongly think we should put it into law. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sandy. I appreciate it.
Sandy, you absolutely right.
I'm at my time.
There's something
put an article on the comment section.
No, it's not article. It's an executive law of Liberia.
Not on your time will come, or you rush.
Your time will come. You explain.
I just said I wanted to budget what you said. That's fine.
Let me tell my own.
I mean, you get 30 seconds.
Don't worry.
Yeah, see.
Anthony, matter you lawyer friend. Me, I'm lawyer friend. Look, you know, I love my brother Anthony, right? Anthony can come with certain fight, then he turn our fight upside down. Anthony, you just said that we should not pick a little abstract of a statement, right? Without looking at the full context. Bro, that is in his head, right? You just said it, right? Maybe
no, I'm saying they take a sound bite.
Some bite. It's just a little subnosis of a statement. They do that. They get pick that little thing, but that's not a full context. That's not a full text. All right, Anthony. So if we should go back by the example you use, say JMB said the country will finish, right? And if you go back to listen to the entire script of a statement, you talk about the corruption, the level of corruption that this country is experiencing right now. If they continue, the country will finish. There will be no more Liberia.
So.
Nope, that's not what he said.
My man, y'all
play the tape back.
At the end of the day, this thing just happened. Anthony, we don't have to go back to 1847 to pull this thing. I'll look for that script. I'll send it to Nessie. Nessie will play it on the show. All right? So let me tell you this. We talk about privilege. It's not all right. Bro, brother or Jeru will have to tell us, right? The article in the Constitution that said that providing security for former, whether president or vice president is constitutionally mandated. I want to see that reference. I want to see that reference point in the Constitution. Whether is executive mandated or whatever that is, let he send out that reference point. Let me tell you, bro, we are all wanting stability in the country. Nobody's just saying, pour an absolute stop to free speech. Stuff like no. We are all, at least in my thinking, we are all free speech absolutists. That's how I believe people should be able to express themselves in a manner in which they feel fit. But that should not be in any way, your statement or your position should not be in a manner in which that will actually, or be moved by incitement, be moved by an insurrection, be moved by chaos. Even in this great United States, Anthony, you know very well, free speech have a limit. There are certain things you can't say. You can't talk. You cannot in any way talk about an insurrection or your position should in any way be in support of that, in support of public uprising. You can't do that, Anthony. You know that.
Thank you,
and that's what the vice president. That's what the vice president are doing, and that's the position the vice president was in. The environment in which the vice president may say available. Those are the posture that were being acted on by those guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry.
I get more freedom in America than like.
Thank you.
That's certain thing I can say about Trump right now in America. I will be safe. I can't say that same thing about Joseph Yuma, but I can be safe in like bro. So like, we can't forget about it.
You lie. Forget that thing. You know what I mean? Saying it. Go ahead. Sorry.
Hey, man.
Thank you. It is not screening us.
Well, guys.
Yeah, that's right.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we're getting you. Getting from the bar stage, my brother.
I was just in a situation, but thankfully.
Yeah, I hope you're all right, Nelson.
You all right?
Back. Yeah, I'm good. So yeah, you can.
Why? That's right. 30 seconds for now. Anthony, go to the phone now.
Thank you that you are good. You know, it is not strange to hear sedition speak the way they speak. Because like I said in one of my comments today, the CDC primary foundation was built on violence. It is only by the grace of God, when they had the opportunity to serve our country as a party, they attach certain responsibility or they got profound when it comes to how to say things and how to go about doing things. We thank God that there was some level of refined behavior put in some of those guys. But it will be strange to see a put of the ANC speaks the way he speaks, because we don't know Mr. Comey to be a man of violence or a man who will support a statement that does not represent a leader. So sometimes my brother Anthony speaks the way he speaks, and sometimes we'll call his names. Himself, he feel attacked. But let's be real with ourselves. Whether it was Joseph Boaga, George Weah, whosoever leaders that have certain level of followers, you cannot make certain statement, brother. That's just fair in us, because at the end of the day, your statement can't wait. I heard you talking about George Weah, former President George Weah should get into the street. And I mean, bro, George Weah like himself. He would never do what you're talking about, or rather think about it. That's why he peacefully turned over power. So if George Weah wanted to do anything funny or carry on anything that does not represent him as George Weah, that could have been done in 2023. So when I hear people talking about George Weah should wake up, go back, in a common labyrinth to your golfo. George will never do it. Brother, don't even think about it. So
Yeah,
I'm not a George Weah fan, or rather a fan of the CDC, but at certain things I know Mr. Weah will not try to spoil his legacy for because of quote unquote oppositions. The opposition should rather use different means. When we were in opposition, we disagree with a lot of things that opposition carry on or that they were planning to carry on. Disassociate myself with them because that's not the Bila I know myself to be. So I mean, we should be a little bit different from a quote unquote political party agenda because tomorrow your statement or your actions will go after you, especially wanting to be a leader in our country. Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry, Anthony, find out with the full on.
So when I say if George Weah hits the street, what does that insinuate in your mind? Sorry. George Weah getting in the streets, just like Imam Bouaka, Alexander Benedict Cummings, that was doing the rest of the other people, came in the streets June 7, when Weah was president. That's the same reference I just made. George Weah is a peaceful man. I don't have to blow it home. He had demonstrated that countless times. I said, if George Weah walked the streets of Monrovia, marched alongside with Fanati Kofa to the Capitol building, it will gain attention. It will bring more crowd than just press conference. Look, when the national security apparatus, especially the Executive Mansion Protection Agency, becomes politicized or become a political agency of the government, then ordinary citizens' safety is at stake. You will never see the United States Secret Service post out such a political statement, regardless of what happened politically in this country. They never delve into any political activities. Never.
So,
Only in Liberia.
Yeah, Anthony, I the moderator. Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Okay. If I come out and say we will cause chaos if this not happen,
yeah,
it's not a threat to the state.
No, chaos can be. Chaos can be.
Okay. That's an interpretation.
Hold on. Let's define the word chaos. Chaos can be on the show tonight. You talking, I'm talking, so are we talking to we're talking?
That's a definition. That's your definition.
Listen.
So Eric, I come in.
Listen. The word chaos does not have one. It's not limited to one occasion.
That's what I'm saying. Everyone, I come in. We
all right. So
the thing is,
let's face the fact here. Let's face the fact. You know, one good thing I love about my Unity Party folks, they are the one that beat the war drum. But they make it as though that the other people on the other side beating the war drum. You have the executive mansion in your control. You run the government. The Senate is in your control. The only part of government you don't have control is the House of Representatives currently, where the speaker having to be from a different party. But the Senate pro tem is a member of the Unity Party Alliance. You understand? So you have the executive mansion, you have the judiciary branch, you have the Senate. You are running the government as if to say you are the opposition. Lead. Stop campaigning. Campaign is over with. Govern. Lead.
I thought this was 30 seconds.
No, let me go ahead. Conclude.
So in this,
let me conclude.
In this process, worry. My mom can call me and say, look, you need to, get out the generator because the current on everybody celebrating Moravia. We're not celebrating it. I said, why? She said, been 1 week now. Our current can't go. The current keep going on that. The current can stay on. But you're celebrating one side of Moravia have electricity.
And then don't tell story on the Oma, man. Let's go to the phone lines, guys. 0345.
I'll give my man number after the show so you can call tomorrow morning. If I lie, don't never bring me on the show again.
Nancy, can I tell you a second? Because okay, thank you.
We have LEC to the house.
Yeah, no, that's not all. The man went to the round. I thought because
we have LEC to the house. So why my man can get electricity?
To
wait for LEC. The house get LEC.
Yeah, but guys, I beg you, let's go to the phone lines. Let's just hear from our people, then we'll come back.
Okay, no problem.
because some of the folks have already
Let me
started
plug my
calling.
phone, Josh.
Yeah. Or make sure your phone doesn't have 30% again. You know, it doesn't. All right, so let's take some calls from our folks out there. The WhatsApp.
I'm telling you what she explains. It doesn't lead out of
Leader Omar politics. Don't be Omar politics thing.
No,
You
I'm just letting you know that they don't have electricity in the Monrovia.
So let's take your calls now, folks. You can call us on the number scrolling there. 231-776-918-639. That's the number to call, and you'll be live. No, it's true. Blessings and blessed that electricity is not stable everywhere. I'm not going to say that either. Electricity is not stable everywhere. And that's just the reality. Yeah, but let's take some calls now. Let's take our first caller here. Hello, you're live. Your name and where you call from.
Yes, good morning from my end. This is Siliki Kumar, and I'm calling you from Kigali, Rwanda.
Go ahead.
Okay, I think this is a great show, and I've been following just a few minutes ago. So I hear one of the panelists talking about Anthony, defending people who are threatening the state. But here is what I want to bring to all of your attention. Look, when you are looking for somebody who is beating a war drum or threatening the state, it is the president. Because the highest court in the country made a clear ruling in the case or in the crisis of the House of Representatives. Instead of the president coming to respect that ruling, the president came up and said he's going to work with the people the Supreme Court had ruled against. That's a threat to our democracy. But all of you are concerned about people's statement. You're not addressing that. The president, during the campaign time, made a clear statement that if we don't win the election, there's going to be no Liberia. How many of you on this show concerned about that? How many of you criticize the president then? But oh no, today, Joe Howard Taylor and the rest of the people in the opposition, they are threatening the peace of the country. And this is wrong. Liberia belongs to everybody. The president should respect the Supreme Court ruling. Let's demand the president to do that because that is the right thing to do. The president took an oath to defend and protect the Constitution of Liberia.
Thank you.
So let's stop playing here and say the truth to the Liberian people. So thank you so much, Nursing, and great show.
Thanks a lot, Siliki Kuma, for your input tonight. Let's go back to the phone lines. Let's see if we can take this person. Hello, your name and where you call from. Let's hear you. Hello. Okay, so we lost that person. Mobile, any of you guys, maybe Ture, you want to pin your number?
The number.
They put my enough guard on. What are you talking about? Power can go everywhere in America. I would drop it.
The day I see you, you know. My roof, the day my roof.
I'll be a visitor. I have Ia Kasali.
All right, so let's see if we take another person here. Hello, your name and where you call from. Hello, can you hear me? Again, we lost this person. There seems to be an issue here with our lines. Yeah. So probably we.
It's not a radio off. You can take a lot of calls.
Yeah, caller, you can go ahead and call me and have your say. 1 minute 267-648-9692. That number is 267-648-9692. Go ahead, have your say. Like my brother AB will say, have your say now.
Hello.
Yeah, good morning, Leslie, and good morning to your panelists on the show this morning.
Morning.
My name is Daniel Kessler, getting called from Bangladesh to the phone call this morning.
Okay.
Look, Leslie, we should be real to our young people who keeping the war drum in our country. If I listen to a young man talking about Joe William or Mario Fanatico pass to the capital building and the speaker of this will be over, are you killing me? Is that how they run government? Why do people quick to forget? Where were you when God we had told the Liberia, anybody in something, they will not walk free in Nigeria. We know what happened. You know that one of your cause in the country, and after now you're still causing. Listen to Abraham Gosling where when he started to get rid of the vice cover, and he said, you know what we're planning. So the EPA director was right. They can be planning the country. You say you love the citizens of this country, but you go on corporate radio as a proper vice president. We need a hope for the same time, family. You making that kind of remark. You know the kind of thing they say about her on radio. We don't know how we embarrass. Let's be honest. If the leader rolls out on the two, that was good about unity party. They don't buy and go. They tell their leader the truth. And that leader, you don't love them, but telling your leader the truth, they will debate for so hard that in them. But you can always back there. They are listening to Moses Attackman. Moses Attackman, that's going to go big talk about Senator Magala. You forget when you beat student on the university paper and lead to
My man, that who are Carol's great B again, but yeah, who are Carol's great B?
We'll put a video up.
What play man be student?
Thank you. Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you, my brother.
Thank you. From Bangabong County. Let's Ture, you got a call. If not, we can go ahead and do our closing.
I haven't received a single call yet, Nelson. So I think
Let's do the close. That's that was sorry. Just go around the queue.
Yeah, great show. Thanks to all of the caller. But you see, when people call on the platform and you're not listening, then I think at the end of the day, you'll come to make the wrong input on the show about how be it that is Liberia. We talk about democracy, we respect everyone of their opinion. But I think when you listen to some of all, we disagree and condemn any statement coming from the leader with follower and try to urge or caution leader to speak in a very profound way, because when you are a leader, you set as example. So I think it was a good conversation. People in our country, when you enjoy certain privilege and you want that privilege to be maintained, there are certain territory you don't want to go in. It's a good thing for opposition to protest, but not to make certain bureaucratic statement that carries some level of threat. That does not make you a good opposition. You have to know what you stand for, what is your role in society, and what you aim at as an opposition. They always will say opposition, government waiting. But what are you projecting out there to make the people have that belief that you are a government waiting? It is to carry on necessary thing. One of the things you were talking about, Mr. Comey, he's a soft politician, but when he criticizes, he put for ideas, solutions, that which I admire of one of the opposition leaders that I've always admired in Liberia. No matter of all of those deceitful supporter behind, but I think he has some principle when it comes to criticizing that nobody can take from him. And I think other opposition leaders can follow that mental, that trajectory. My brother Siddiqui called and talk about instances where the country is at war, but he did not reference any things that make the country at war. Basically, that somebody will say, yes, actually what he's saying is in reference to this. But that's his opinion. I think we should respect everybody for their opinion. I think it was a good conversation. Thanks to all of the guys. Like I said, thanks to all those callers, everyone in the comment section for making the show that more interactive. Thank you, Murba.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Anthony, are you busy? We're gonna cross over you.
No, let me do it because I got more report to do. So look, guys, we're gonna go around the circle each and every time we come on the show because of our implicit biasness, right? The folks on the Unity Party side, they are never wrong, in as much as we have not seen a foundation of this government lay out year one. Where are we going with our nation? We are going almost 6 months into the second year of this administration. They're still hoping on $490 million that may possibly happen through World Bank, or conditional money instead of a finance minister coming out with a robust domestic agenda to generate revenue. We are here talking political stuff. They are trying to buy time because they don't have no plan. A finance minister launched a 5-year program with 8.4 billion United States dollars, 70% of that money donor funding. Now, USAID cut $51 million. They were hoping on MCC, $500 million cut. Folks, this is the administration that we have. No plan, no agenda, nothing but chaos. That is the reason why they are doing everything humanly possible to infringe on your right. They don't have a plan. They came into office confused. Each and every week, something new about this administration. Nothing domestically driven, but foreign aid, foreign aid, foreign aid. That is the only thing this administration is offering. Are you back my time? Thank you for my turn.
Thank you, Dre.
Yeah, thank you so very much. So yeah, look, I know very well we all have a side, obviously. It shows how independent mind we are as individual, and that's fine. Look, we should definitely challenge each other. It's good for our personal growth and that of the growth of the country. Look, I don't have problem with Bro Anthony. Bro Anthony will come and see what Bro Anthony says. I mean, that's his right. And we also have rights and responsibility to react to whatever he says. Likewise, he has all of the right to react to whatever it say that we say. Hey, this is good. Because at the end of the day, we all can actually go back in the chat room and go back and forth and everything is fine. That's the like bro trying to put forth. No hard feeling. And they should continue to excel as much as they continue to do, because we tolerate each other, opinion. Maybe someday we'll get a little heated and that come with a lot of noise on radio and stuff like that. But for the most part, I appreciate the growth. I appreciate the level of professionalism, because it's not really easy for you to have 10 talking heads on a platform and I expect, like some little bit of back and forth. But but it is what it is, man. That's what I have to say. Thank you so very much. Good night.
Thank you, Dre. Thank you. Jai. Sandy.
Well, it was a great show. I want to end up here to strongly advocate for the protection of former leaders to be a law, to be legal, to be written in legal documents. That way, former leaders, those who have served our country, will not be threatened at any time. You will not threaten removal of protection from them if they make, any statement, good or bad. No one will remove protection from former President Obama, no matter what statement he made in this country. Even doing when now President Donald Trump, when all of that chaos was going around him and everything that he was being accused, his protection was never removed. He enjoyed that service, he enjoyed that privilege. I mean, that his right. Until he was re-elected again. And when he leave office, he will have that protection for life. So once you make it law, you make it legal, then no one will be just threatening that, when you sneeze, we'll remove it. When you say this, we'll remove it. But I also want to caution our leaders to avoid making certain remarks that would put fear in people. We want people to visit our country. We need our tourism sector to pick up, to accelerate. We need foreigners to visit Liberia. We need people to invest in Liberia. And when certain comments are made that put fear in people, They run away from your country. They turn their backs on your country and they go to your neighbors. And the money they should have spent in your country have been spent in other countries. Let us disagree with the government in ways that won't lead to any chaos. We can bring the government, we can hold the government feet to fire, but we can do it in ways that would not be perceived as if we are calling for violence. It was a great show, and I look forward to being here again tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my dear brother Cindy. Ebi.
Yeah, let me get this room from the thank you for this opportunity. Especially Nelson, for him to be able to have sleepless night. And only for him to be able to come here. That is to show that this brother love the country. This brother have the countries in your full chest. And I just want to say to the citizens that you guys will continue to complain once you guys are not constructive. You guys will continue to complain because we will do the right thing for the vast majorities of our Liberian brothers and sisters. I wish, of course, GMB is not by mistake that he is sitting at the presidency. It's not by mistake. And Mr. President is doing tremendous good job. Mr. President is doing the better in the interest of our country. And he is someone that I can be able to vouch for because I know what he's capable of doing. The lives of Mo Ali, Mr. Dukle, a lot of young folks were brought into the government, not because they are handsome, but because the president believed in them. So kudos to our president, kudos to you. More appointment because government job is something that I'll let finish. More youthful appointment. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I mean,
right on time. Yeah. Yep. So thank you guys. Good show. I'll go for half of it, but I think I came back in on Anthony closing. I'm glad that Anthony admits to this implicit bias that we all have. So when he come in saying that the government is not doing anything, I'm pretty sure he's recognizing it from his speech, from his comments and stuff. And how up to now the government having done it, the finance minister having done this, having done that. This is the same guy that's telling us that blaming the president for saying that I will not sit and hold a country hostage till they get done. I'll work with whoever had quorum, which is in the Constitution. And they're all jumping around saying that, the president is going against the law, the rule of law. This almighty Supreme Court has ruled. And first of all, somebody called talking about the president is breaking the law. The president, if you know the law, that you probably don't know the law that I said here, so you going by saying that the president is breaking the law by saying he will work with whoever have quorum, right? And the Supreme Court never mandated the president to do anything. So all of y'all coming, plus you're supposed to be channeling your frustration and the people you're supposed to be taking it, so you're not doing it, but you're taking it on the wrong person because everybody got a mission, right? To bring boy guys down. So when we say here and the president saying, okay, since the Supreme Court has said that I will sit and fold my hands and wait and not do anything till they fix whatever they got going on. My brother saying that the finance minister not doing anything. Well, what if the president said that? Then what would happen? Everything shut down. Let's just sit down and be watching TV. 2029, the same Anthony will come. Mr. Cummings is the way. Boy, guys not doing anything. Joey ain't doing anything. Let's go for Cummings. That is the whole a point right here. So we can see through that, and we can see the bias he talking about. So, but we're not stand for it. And like I said, the president will not stand for it because it at the end of the day, it will be the innocent people who will suffer. It won't be these power greed people who are in the house or anywhere. Everybody who want to stand up now, never seen the rule of law going, somebody now upholding it. When we don't want to go personal, but today they can see it now and they won't care as in something. And when people like that talking, you can know where all of this is coming from. And like my brother said, Ture said, go on those days that you'll come here and in my LU student voice and baffle people to believing that you want good for the country when all you want, when people you come in telling us that you want country to fail, the government to fail, and then you telling us that, oh, you doing it for the Liberian people, the rule of law. When we all can see through, all you want is your personal gain, and we're not gonna sit here for it. And kudos to the president. And yeah, people want to protest, let them protest. But in the meantime, say what you can say. Not threatening the country, threatening people, because our ordinary people in the country, they don't have flight to catch. Their children are sitting in America and in Europe like you do, and want to be calling for chaos in the country. So thank you, and you another day.
Thank you. I mean, I'm not closing.
The young executive leader is in waiting.
Let me say this. When we come on the show, we come in with facts.
I can't wait to the fire talking about Kevin.
If let me not closing now. If the former vice president can come and tell the Liberian people, the word we will cause chaos. And I've seen people backing that statement. And it just showed to me that how biased we are. And every day my brother talking about bias, to tell how biased we are. I will not come here and say, look, certain statement when the present president when he made clarity, we will come here and say the truth. But the former vice president telling the Liberian people, he using the word we will cause chaos if the government put herself together, if the government go by the rule of law. The government running on the rule of law. You cannot force the government to say what the Supreme Court said. They must come and say, you know what? We ain't working with nobody. We just said that. The government made that sound very clear to the Liberian people. And even they acknowledge the ruling from the Supreme Court. They respected the ruling. The president never have a press conference and probably say negative thing about the ruling from the Supreme Court. No. But people making the thing that say the president said, you know what? To hell with the Supreme Court. Anything the Supreme Court do, let them do it. We're moving on. But the president acknowledged. He gave that respect to the Supreme Court. Look at the whole thing. And then they say, I will work with those who have quorums. And we'll come in and say, it can be even the minority can come tomorrow to go negotiate and get that number. I will work with them. You not keep the country on hostage because of certain group of people. People do nothing intentionally to make the government look bad. They're doing it because they love the country. They're doing it because everybody say, okay, you know what? Won't follow the rule of law. No, they're doing it because they won't make the government look bad to the international community and also the Liberian people. That's the reason why they want to burn the Capitol building. That's the reason why every day you see them pack out to say things what they get no business, get no evidence saying. They would say it. Like my brother Ture said. You ask how they carry people to you and you beat people. Then you talking about rule of law. When you look at the Supreme Court, the Supreme Court says you're not bound by their rules. You do that, you said it plain blank. And all on social media, you said it. Or you're power drunk at that time, right? Then now you want to talk about you want to respect the Supreme Court. When we come here, we see the truth, we say it. It's not everything in this government that bread and butter. No. We're not coming. I will not come here and tell you say everything in this government are bread and butter. It's challenging. There are a lot of things the government need to do so our people can be, can get it, the basic need. like current, make current, affordable and more stable, running water, education, health sector, companies. These are things we must advocate for. These are things when it comes in little by little, that would acknowledge it. That would tell the Liberian people, that would say, this year but one more. But when we come every day, we condemn the one out there. We don't even talk about it. The end of the day, they say the government not doing nothing at all. The government, the 1 year, 6 months, nothing. But people who in the country saying that, oh yes, so thing working in the country, but we that oversee of those few opposition are in the country that want to see the country going back up there and saying negative thing about the country. Then end of the day, we come here, we say we love country. We not love country. We're not doing it because of ourselves. Because you know, like brother man Paul said, let me conclude on this. If that me, it shouldn't be you. Because Joe, we are not there. So all that we are sharing, the CDC and the ANC/CDC/ ANC, they all get packed up together, put a lot of lies together, and come and tell the Liberian people. We not say all our bread and butter. Oh, it's not bread and butter in Liberia. Nobody will tell you all our bread and butter. People struggling and people keep and that will keep happening in every part of the world. It will happen. But end of the day,
what is the foundation?
Let us say it. Let us say it. Let us move forward. Let us forget about it. Too much threatening the peace. Look, the boss, the LPR boss, was right, to make that identical statement. That's it. We shouldn't come.
That's the EPS.
I mean, the security apparatus, right?
The EPS.
The EPS rather was right to make that statement. You can't come as a former vice president and make that type of statement and you say you want to bring chaos.
Have you heard the secretary make such a statement?
The security apparatus get it right.
I want to say thanks.
Let me conclude now. Let me conclude. Anybody
Let me conclude.
Anybody missed the security apparatus get it right to revoke any privilege. Now even privilege here because you get in the constitution.
Privilege now. I make it privilege.
No. We have an executive law.
We want to say happy birthday.
Can you please let me? Oh, that's sister.
That is my big sister.
Wow.
Aisha. Happy birthday. I love you. May the Lord, good old Lord, grant you more. We're in a box. Grant you more birthdays to come. And grant you all of your heart desires. And may your children, may you see your children. I love you. What is this? It's supposed to be about my sister.
Go ahead.
Not me.
But you said it, you said the way you said all the men poor, you know you won't be in the front.
You see how I can do.
I was sitting behind the yellow young twin.
Go ahead, Amy. Go ahead.
All the picture I sent you, Nelson. I wanted that one picture. You got something? You want to put a gap picture on?
I want to make character.
Here you go.
The balance
You always say that, but we never resemble.
Happy birthday, sweetheart. May the good Lord be kind to you, generous to you. May you live long to see many years in health, wealth, and tranquility. Happy birthday.
Marshall territory. All the way. Look at Sunny Marshall territory.
So I want to say happy birthday.
That's how you don't let the pop pictures up.
The entire late night crew. No, these are the ones that came out.
I'm asking these are the
ones I see you want to have pictures.
I think it's your
happy birthday and
happy birthday.
Yeah. All the
to our viewers, thank you guys.
Day. And we want to say thanks to everyone. We look forward to a great show. Thank you, Swari, for being here tonight. Thank you,
Happy birthday to your sister, Amy.
Thank you. Thank you to Mzee. Thank you to Mzee. And thanks to Amy, Marshall Territory. She ain't left for all to call her Marshall Territory, but she's Amy Marshall Territory.
Say it like that's my last name. Amy from Marshall Territory. Of Marshall Territory.
We want to call you. We just want to call you Marshall Territory. That's all.
No, that is
let's get Amy out. We say.
Well, you can say Marshall.
Thank you for being on.
Marshall
And,
territoire.
thanks to mobile, thanks to our audience, all of our people who have been engaging in the comment section. We appreciate you. Blessings and blessed. You know, sometimes I'm thinking if this is I don't know which account is this, blessings and blessed, but if that's
That's
a
a
real
brother
name,
account.
yeah,
Oh,
if that's
la
That's
one
one.
Freeman,
Stop
Freeman,
calling her that. She's one of our audience fathers. She always deal with us, but I love her.
yeah,
And it
Abraham
doesn't matter.
Amara,
She's not Liberian. She have us.
we
There's
appreciate
a
Abraham.
violin near me. You'll be so you'll be causing me right there.
Freeman, we appreciate you as well.
Hi,
Thank you
Freeman, my
for
sister
Yo,
Freeman.
Balemia, Amy.
That's my
and,
plan. I'll be making you.
Yeah, you do.
well,
And I
thanks
don't say
everyone.
flex
We look
electronics.
for
They can
we
deal
look
with
forward
flex
to seeing
electronics
you
in my brain
tomorrow.
not working.
We look forward to being here tomorrow. Until then, have a good night, everyone.
Good night, guys.
I'll actually be celebrating a birthday tomorrow. The committee has been
Oh.
set up, and so we anyway, thanks to everyone for being on tonight. And tomorrow I'll be young baby, so I don't know if I'll be on the show tomorrow. Maybe
That
that
Friday,
maybe that
Nancy's birthday, or that Thursday?
Tomorrow,
So in Liberia it's already Thursday though.
Oh,
In Liberia, it's already
right.
Thursday.
So that Friday.
Nancy's
So
birthday
Friday,
is
make
Friday,
sure
guys.
the man gotta celebrate birthday.
Amy, you get it? If you don't get it, forget about it.
Forget about it.
All right, so we want to say thanks to everyone. We appreciate. Someone asking where is Shirley? Shirley will be on tomorrow. I understand.
Really? Yeah, Shirley come on when she
Did-
finish with her show,
Nelson,
right?
so Nelson, they shall communicate that way that she'll be on tomorrow.
No, she always comes on when she finish her.
Yeah.
Go
Shirley
ahead,
will be on
bless
tomorrow.
everybody.
Shirley has a show she runs. In case you're
Oh.
not following Shirley, follow her on her social media handle.
What
She
is that
has a show.
called? Gorgon. No, not
No,
Gorgon,
it's
bless anybody.
Safari
I still
Testify.
don't- I still don't show you. I
Safari
really know why.
Yeah, it's
She
called
does
Safari
what?
Testify.
Gospel show, right? A gospel show. She
Oh yeah, I think that
Yeah,
testimony.
definitely.
Safari
Yeah.
testify. There you go.
Yeah. So right after her show, she
Where you
joins
can
us.
go on there, you go confess your sin and you testify.
Well, say thanks, man, to everyone.
Where
It's
do
been a
you
good
want?
show. Have a good night to everyone.
I'm not a
and
sinner, Amy.